Hello everybody, it's time for another episode of Indie Game Sauna. My name is Juho, I'm a Finnish independent game developer, and in this video series I review indie games. This week's game is another point-and-click adventure game called The Will of Arthur Flabbington. What's it all about? Let's go and check it out. This little video series of mine seems to focus exclusively on point-and-click adventure games, but you can blame the material of that. The year 2024 is shaping up to be an exceptionally good year for adventure games. Already there has been almost a tidal wave of great titles, and The Will of Arthur Flabbington is definitely one of them. We're once again taking heavy influences from classic LucasArts titles, but I'm not complaining. The writing is hilarious, puzzles are great, and the overall atmosphere of the game captures that LucasArts vibe spot on. But the area where The Will of Arthur Flabbington really shines is the structure. The game is almost a textbook example on how to structure a point-and-click adventure game. After a brief introduction to the game, the world opens up and you can advance several different puzzles at your own pace. You have several locations at your disposal, and if you get stuck on one puzzle, you can try your luck on another one and return to the previous puzzle when you get that famous aha moment. Many of the modern adventure games remind us of an obstacle course, where the developers have structured their creation as a set of puzzles where one has to be completed before we can advance to the next one. The downside of this kind of structure is that if you get stuck, you'll be stuck until you figure out what to do next. When you have several puzzles in parallel, you always have something to do while your subconscious is working on that one particular puzzle you haven't yet cracked. The game also does a great job of hinting towards solutions. There are a few outlandish puzzles, but the general quality is great. Puzzles do bend the logic, but it rarely breaks. Overall, the gameplay in Arthur Flabbington is great. The visuals draw inspirations from the 90s as well. Once again, we have a low-resolution graphics, which should be an easy sell for a person like myself who has grown up with point-and-click adventure games. Unfortunately, the visuals are one aspect where the game does drop the ball a bit. The graphics are bland, and in general the game would have benefited from a stronger contrast. The game is in no means ugly, but I really think the visuals could have used an overhaul before the release. The biggest issue I have with the game has to do with the main character. Writing a clueless opportunist is a difficult task, and many of these modern point-and-click adventure games try to get their own Guybrush Threepwood to run the show. This is a careful balancing act, because you really need a character in the lead that you can relate to. This time the lead, Jack, is a lazy slacker in the start of the game, and he'll remain that way for the whole adventure. There's no growth or a character arc. I'm not going to spoil the plot, but the ending did leave me cold. While there are some seriously great puzzles in the last third of the game, the writing does not rise to the same level. It's a shame, because the great structure of Arthur Flabbington should be accompanied with great writing. In general, the story of the game ticks most of the boxes for a LucasArts-influenced adventure game. There are many funny moments which made me chuckle out loud, which is something that only a handful of modern adventure games have made me do. The Will of Arthur Flabbington is a good adventure game, but with some proper character growth it would have been a great one. I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and it is definitely a title worth checking out. And thanks again for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing for this channel, it would mean a lot. And I also have my own indie game in the works. It's this cool 2D point-and-click adventure game set in an infinite hotel. The game is called Hyperdrive In, and it's already on Steam, so you can go ahead and wishlist the game right now. The game will launch in October 2024, but we already have a playable demo, so you can visit our infinite hotel well beforehand. All the relevant links can be found in the description, as well as a link to the Arthur Flabbington Steam page. But that's all for today. I'll see you guys again next week, but until then, bye bye!